Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for joining us on this Friday morning with our lovely Representative Mark McBride. We're going to go ahead and give him the floor, and if you can just do me a favor and please mute if you haven't already. And if you have any questions while he's talking, just input it into chat, and we'll try to touch base, and then we will end it, of course, always with Q&A. So Mark, the floor, sir, is yours.
Okay, thank you. Hey, thanks everybody. For starters, I'm going to be your representative for another term. I didn't draw an opponent, so that's happy days for me, which anytime I don't have to, I mean, I like being out in the public. This would be a difficult year to, you can't knock doors, you can't have meetings. It's all going to have to be done for mail. So it would have been a little bit different. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy serving you for another term. But I'm going to kind of jump around. There's a lot of stuff going on, and then y'all can ask me a few questions later. I'm going to start off with the census. So Oklahoma's kind of run a little bit below we're 5 percentage points below the national average on getting the census out. And if you haven't, or you know somebody that hasn't done the census, get that out there. The state loses an estimated of $1,675 in federal funds each year for the next 10 years. So that's a lot of money that the state will lose for people that aren't reporting. So I got that taken care of, and let's go to, so the governor's trying to open the state back up, which good or bad, just, you know, a lot of people look at it different ways. I think we're going to start on, you know, elective surgeries on the 24th of this month. They're going to open that up. We have all indicators show that if we were to have a surge, that the state has plenty of supplies, plenty of PPE, and ventilators and things like that. So we're in a position, if there was a surge of this, which kind of indicators show that, you know, we're flattening out, and that this COVID, I was reading a deal yesterday that this COVID strain, which is like SARS and all those others, that it's most prevalent in the months of January, February, March, and it starts tapering off. Now, I'm no doctor. I'm just telling you what I read. So, and it was from, oh no, it was Fox News. It was Fox News. So if it was on Fox News, it was the truth. So anyway, stimulus checks are rolling out. I've been working really hard on the unemployment. So if you have anybody or know of anybody that's having difficulties getting their unemployment, please have them email me their information, because Julie is on top of it. She's my expert on this. She knows more about this than I do. She's really helped several people get their unemployment, and they're working on getting unemployment benefits for self-employed people as well. So definitely use me as a source on that. We get a pretty quick turnaround response. I think we helped like 3 people yesterday. I mean, I actually got them an answer and got their unemployment going. So please reach out to me on that. So the state, some of you remember me talking about last Friday about the governor not signing one of the bills that would have allowed the rainy day money to go into where we're at now, revenue failure, $302 million. So he hasn't budged yet. From what I understand this morning, he's going to call a meeting of the Board of Equalizations. The Board of Equalizations has to meet so that they can declare a revenue failure. And once the revenue failure is declared, then the money can go in. Actually, they said there was going to be a revenue failure before we passed the legislation. This went into law last Saturday because the governor didn't veto it. He thought by him not vetoing it or signing it, it would be null and void. So that is not correct. The House and the Senate have filed a lawsuit against the governor. I mean, it's not really a bad thing. The lawsuit is just an action that we have to file to get him to move on it. I think we're going to get this resolved. He may not be real happy with the way it's resolved, but at least the money will get put into the budget and we can continue on. One of the other things here, so the Attorney General is worried about lawsuits. How many he kind of is thinking that after we open up and the courts get opened up, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits on. Here's what he said. Hunter said he anticipates lawsuits being filed as a result of agencies being shut down temporarily and furloughs occurring, and based on the difficult decisions the governor and you all have had in respect to the exercise of authority. So that's going to be another fun deal. That'll be another cost to the state if people are, and I don't know, some of these will be frivolous lawsuits. I guess some of them will be legit, but that's, I don't really know on that. And the other thing I wanted to share with you, so I've probably in the past, the state budget is based on $53 oil, $53 barrel oil. That is why we're in the situation we're in today, the main reason. And I looked this morning, oil is at $17.90 a barrel. So that really puts a hole in the budget. So one of the things I got curious as to what's going on, because the Saudis and the Russians evidently made a deal on this, but companies are buying oil and storing it on ships, land. We've filled up our national reserve here in the United States. There's 160 million barrels of oil stored on tankers right now in the Gulf and different places. So all of this oil that's coming out, they're just storing it up, stockpiling. There's nowhere to go with it. With the you guys don't drive as much as you did before. I don't drive as much. Airplanes aren't flying, so that's part of the problem. But I was really surprised this morning. I mean, yesterday it was 20, and today it's 17.90. That's and one of the things that we use, the world uses 90 million barrels a day. So you're like, well, 160 million we've got stored, 90 million. That's not a lot, but it is. It's a lot to hurt the value when all that's dropped on the market eventually. But anyway, I'll take any questions. I know I ran through a bunch of stuff kind of really fast, but that's kind of me. I'm kind of short and sweet to the point, and I'll take your questions and we'll go for it.
Go for it. Anyone want to unmute themselves and ask a question? You are more than welcome to.
Representative McBride, Romine's here. Have you all had discussions on what the budget looks like for next year and how all the different agencies will be protected, or if they will be protected regarding funding?
I went to the Capitol. I was at the Capitol yesterday with Wallace and Thompson. So that's the approach chair in the House and the Senate, for those that don't know. And I went to specifically ask some questions about the budget. We were having they had a meeting, a private meeting that I sat in on, and then we had a joint House and Senate appropriations Zoom meeting. But the question I said, guys, listen, I spent 2 years fixing this education deal, and I can't cut education. And I'm supposing you're asking about education piece of this, but we are not cutting education. And that's number one. Now, some of the others could take a little bit of a haircut, but I think for the most part, we're going to try and hold everybody flat for this year or for 21. I do believe the governor would like to reopen this year's budget and cut, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to let that happen. But as far as next year, education is not going to get a cut, and I don't believe that any other agency is as well.
Well, and of course, I want to be the first to thank you and the group just north of here at the Capitol, and trying to keep the tent over this great big circus. And I keep hearing about the core services, and this is not a time to cut all core services. And I appreciate all the work that you all are doing. And again, I'm not up there and don't hear both sides of the story, but I do know that you all are working really hard to protect core services and getting us through this fiscal year. And it's good to know that you all are looking at that for core services next year too. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, it's one of those positions. My irritation with the governor, we're going through a tough enough time as it is right now. We don't need to start cutting people. And he hasn't been through that. I've been through that. I've cut agencies, cut education. I've been all through that, the revenue failures and everything. He doesn't really know what, and I don't mean any disrespect, but if he would listen to some of us that have been down this road, we're going to get out of it. It's going to take a few years, but we're going to get on the upswing. It can all be, great tomorrow as quick as it was bad. But anyway, another question?
I definitely want to let everyone know that Mark has been very diligent in providing information to us via his social media page. So if you do not personally follow him, it would probably behoove you to do so. The information is very detailed in regards to the daily status of COVID in our state and the number of cases. I'm just sitting here looking at just one post. And then of course there's a wonderful, big, huge thank you post on there because Mark and Julie are working hard to assist people with their unemployment claims. If you haven't heard the numbers, we went from going about 12,000 claims to over 300,000. So it is insane the impact that this is having on our state. And we're all trying to hold our heads up, and Mark's doing a good job about keeping us informed. So speaking of, we had an estimate, and then the estimate got lowered, and then the estimate got lowered again. Do we really truly see that it's flattening, or are we just spitballing?
My opinion is we're spitballing. It could change. I mean, I don't really think we really know. I mean, if you listen to the stuff going on in New York and different places, I mean, they think they're there and then they're not. So I think that's kind of where we're going to be. I think this is all an unknown. We'll just think positive. We're going to get through it. I don't know how or when we're going to get through it, but hopefully we start opening up some of the businesses May 1st. Either that, or I'm going to shave my head or grow a ponytail, one or the other. I haven't decided which I'm going to do yet, but I really need a haircut. My wife wants to get her nails done. It's really, really serious things.
I go for a ponytail.
Ponytail, you think?
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's getting so curly. I mean, here in another hour or two, my hair is just going to be the longer it gets, the curlier it gets.
That's too funny. I know Tish is trying to
There you
ask
go.
a question. Did you get off unmuted?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Hey, Mark, I just want to tell you thank you. You are the one that helped my sister yesterday with the unemployment.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
and I talked to her this morning, and she said it was there this morning. So she wants to say thank you again for all of your help. And
Is
it's
that
like I told her, Kim,
Reed?
no, Kim,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So she just wanted me to tell you thank you again, and and I told her that's just the kind of representative that we have. And so I just want to tell you thank you also for doing that.
Oh, you bet. Anything it's kind of funny. Julie texted me this morning and she goes, "Boss, I know you love everybody. You want to help everybody out, but can we just do your constituents?" And I turn them over to the others. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just worried those other representatives won't take care of them. So we got to do them all."
Well, that's awesome. Thank you again, though, for that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad I could help.
I know that makes it hard, Mark, because you are that kind of person that wants to help everybody, and then that makes us send everybody to you because we know you'll get things done, and for that I appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so there is he's releasing the surgeries for the 24th, the non-essential surgery.
Right, 23rd. Yeah.
23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
Okay, and so he's evaluating. This was yesterday in one conversation.
Right.
Evaluating whether or not to open up before the end of the month.
Evaluating certain things to open up. I don't know how this is going to look. I bought some property to build some houses from Dr. Lackey down at Norman, and I was talking to him about his thoughts on this. And he said, hold on, turn this off. We've done a great job at quarantining and keeping the virus from spreading. They said there's only two problems. He said we need a vaccine, and we're not building up any kind of immunity. He said those are two of the key things, the immunity piece. He said, but to reopen, to build that immunity, like I have, because I've had measles, mumps, and whatever else, chicken pox and all that. So I have a built-in immunity to that. To open back up, to get that immunity, we could see more cases. So I don't know, but the other countries that I see, they're just not really, that have had it, they're not having a big surge in the cases, like Italy, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I mean, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Carla, did you see Carla's note to you?
Said thank you, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah. Thank you, bet, Carla.
Yay, he didn't draw upon it. So I just want to go back to work. So can you just push the button and make it happen so we can all go back to work safely?
Oh, I do too. It's
there is conversation being said in regards to gatherings. They're still going to try to limit gatherings, and they really haven't stated how long or when they're going to open them back up. They're a part of the conversations. Again, I'm tired of the news. So I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
So, one says it's going to last this long. The other one says it's going to last this long. So do you know, I mean, is that a part of the conversation that they're just going to look at different ways to train or implement?
Things I've heard are like, which you guys have probably heard, restaurants spacing people out more, which that'll work for some restaurants, but you take like the garage or some of these people where they pack people in, I don't know if they can sustain that. Sports events, They've talked about trying to limit the people. I just don't know how it all works. I want it to go back to normal. I like being social, being around people. I don't know if we get back there or not. I'm sure we will, but it may take some time. Maybe this fall. I've been wondering about like the 4th of July event at Buck Thomas Park.
Yeah.
You know, are we gonna do our normal thing? You know, or are they just gonna do fireworks? I haven't talked to the city manager about it, but I'm getting tired every time I go out. If I sneeze or if I cough, somebody thinks I've got the COVID.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, does anyone have any questions?
Chris is not on here, so somebody needs to ask something. Chris Manna always has a good question.
Usually.
That was one of the things that I wished I could have put more money in, was libraries, because libraries are doing quite a bit through all this for getting the helping with the schools and stuff, but I didn't have any money. So
And I know that this is not on an Oklahoma level, but I'm sure that you've heard talk of it. Because chambers are a 501c6, we get nothing. I mean, we
really?
can't, you know, the PPPs, all of it is, you might get an SBA for $1,000 per person, but they're trying to fight that on the federal level way on up. But, you know, I mean, it's a big talk in my world, that because they just weren't thinking when they decided to let the C3s in for these loans, they didn't think about C6s, and there's, you know, lots of them. So
I guess you talked to Tom or his staff.
I haven't talked to Tom. We've sent out letters and stuff, so we're going to see where that goes. I'm going to try to talk to Tom. Yeah, I'll talk to his staff too. I'm sure they're aware of it, because ACCE and the U.S. Chamber are both arguing over it. So
Right.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well.
I had a question, and again, I was reading the Oklahoman this morning, and one of the articles is that, Mark, when we come out of this, is that we're going to be in a recession that will rival all the way back to the Great Depression. And what we see today is not, I mean, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg of, you know, economic strain on all of us. But as business owners, as we move forward, they're saying it's only going to get worse. And you know, just like the pandemic, it's just now possibly maybe getting to the peak and maybe start down. But they say the recession is going to hit us in July and August and September, and that's when it's going to hit its peak. I'm just wondering if you know, from a state level and a government level, have you guys discussed that and what it looks like? And you hit on it with the, you know, everything that's going on, from oil to the COVID-19 and everything combined. That, you know, we're sitting here trying to make plans, and I'm, you know, as far as, you know, should we save all of our reserves for March and April for July and August? Does that make sense, I guess?
Yeah. You know, we really haven't talked about it. I mean, we know that it's going to be tough next year, or could be tough. We don't know. I mean, it's still out there, you know. Me, and now on a personal level, I borrowed money for a couple of construction loans the other day, built a couple of spec houses. If I lived my life with my head buried in the sand, I wouldn't be anywhere. I mean, I just kind of work, get by now, but I think that for our economy to surge, is we all got to get out there and fight for what we got and try to keep it going. And, you know, I'll finish a house, you know, 5 or 6 months. Hopefully the worst is over. I've sold 2 houses during all of this. So So I don't know. I just really don't know. That's just me. I mean, I don't want to. I tell the story about when I was in grade school, and my dad was building over in Highland Park, over across from First Baptist Church, and we were driving through there and listening to the radio, and it was the news. They were talking about interest rates going to 9%. I remember my dad said, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do." And, you know, me just being a dumb kid, you know, I looked over at Dad and I said, "Well, what are you going to do?" Because, you know, it kind of scared me. My dad saying that, and he sat there a minute, thought, and he goes, "I'm going to keep building houses. That's what I know how to do." So, I mean, we just all got to keep on going on, because if it is bad, we're all going to be in the same boat, you know. Just do our own thing, manage your business the way you think it ought to manage, save, you know, whatever. Yeah. So that's just me. I don't know if I'd take advice from the state of what, maybe if there's going to be a recession or not, but what to do with your business. Sometimes we can't operate ours.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you very much. Mark, you're always so informative and so entertaining to talk to. And thank you very much for keeping your social media page up and running and doing the extra in regards to helping people with their unemployment claims. Other than that, we're doing a retail town hall on Monday. So if you know anyone that is a retailer in the Moore area that would like to come and just give us a little tidbit of what's going on with them, we'd love to have them join us. And then on Tuesday, we are covering finances. So then Wednesday, I can't remember what's on the agenda. So we've got something on Wednesday, and we've got Mark again next Friday. Quit taking pictures. You've got to quit taking pictures of me. Anyway, so.
Well, you're the only one on there, so.
Everybody. So everyone have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Cover your plants. It's going to freeze again. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, everybody. Enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you.